The holiday season is just around the corner, and it's a time when brands spend and waste a lot of money. In this episode of T.E.A Talks, I'm going to share with you 5 ways you can ensure that you minimize your wasted ad spend. Let's get into it. Right, welcome back, Darren. How are you doing, my friend? You're all branded up, I see.
Oh yeah, I got my fleece on.
There he is. He's keeping it on brand. We love that. We love that. Right, we're going to do this T.E.A Talk a little bit different. Yes. And I haven't really prepped you for this one, so you're going to roll with me. We love a bit of role play on T.E.A Talks. You can improvise. Right, okay. So what I want to do with this is I'm going to share with you 5 ways that you can avoid wasting your ad spend. But to do that, you need to think of yourself as a small business owner.
Well,
so you need to think of yourself as...
I run plenty of businesses.
Well, quite. Selling, you market plenty of businesses. And for this, I need you to think as if you run a small... a home or garden business. Okay. So have a think about a specific type of product that you maybe sell. And then for our dear T.E.A Talk viewers, you are going to be able to watch along and then think of your product or your service in this scenario and think, I can do that. I need to do that. And I think that's going to be the way, because I've got 5 very specific things that I want to talk through, and I need a working example to be able to contextualize them.
Okay, well,
have you got an idea?
I've got an idea.
Go on.
We're surrounded by them, in fact.
What is that?
Indoor plants.
Oh, hello. Right, okay, lovely.
I'm an indoor plant brand.
Perfect scenario. Right, okay. So you're coming up to we've got Christmas coming up, we've got Black Friday coming up, peak season for quite a few of our clients. Q4 is, holiday season, it's peak season, they do a lot of trade, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say that your artificial plants is a brand, and you do a lot. I don't imagine artificial plant brands do a fair amount. Yeah. Good gifts, nice. Good. Exactly. So you're probably thinking, as a lot of our viewers of our TV, what are probably thinking right now, I'm going to be ramping up my spend. Yes. That's what a lot of our brands are going to do.
Got to make some money this holiday
Got to
season.
make some, as you say, we've got to make some wonga when in the run up to Christmas.
I've got to get Timmy's presents at home.
Nice. Right. So I've got 5 ways in which you can avoid wasting ad spend, and I'm sure you're going to have questions on each of them. And so I'm going to go a little bit technical, and then you can rein me in and sort of go, what does that mean?
Sure.
So first one, segmentation.
What does that mean?
Right, I knew you were going. That's why I set it up, because I knew you were just going to go, what? What is he talking about? Right, segmentation. So what do I mean by segmentation? Essentially, it's a way of identifying your best customers versus your most customers. So most brands.
Surely my best customers are my most customers.
Yeah, not always. You'll be surprised. But so most of our viewers are going to be running businesses, and they've got customers. They're sitting on maybe an email database. Sure. They're maybe running Google ads or Meta ads or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So the ability to segment your data, to look back historically, look in your Shopify data, look at your Google ads, look at your Meta ads, look at your email list, look at your customer profile, whatever data you have at your disposal, to be able to identify who are your best customers, who are the people that buy from you more than once, who are the people that spend more frequently, who are the people that have a higher average order value, right? So leveraging the ability to segment the data and identify within your data who are the best performing customers. And it doesn't have to be the specific, there's 2 sides of this coin. On the one hand, it's identifying the specific customers, because if you can say, well, these 500 people are the people that spend the most money with you, or repeat with the greatest frequency, you can do separate campaigns targeted towards those people, because historically, they are, the most lucrative for your business, for your brand. Mm-hmm. But the flip side of that coin is, in identifying who those people are, you can identify you can build a customer avatar. So you can go, my best customers are females between 30 and 45, or whatever it might be. And knowing that ensures that when you're thinking about dialing up your ad accounts and spending more and investing more, that rather than just going out to, I'm going to increase my budgets to go out to anyone between 18 and 65, let's focus more of our time and effort and energy and budget into our best customers.
Sure.
And there's kind of 2 sides to it. So segmenting your data and not just going out saying, well, I'm going to dial up my campaigns and spend more and therefore waste more because I just want to get more sales from everyone, but actually taking the time to identify, depending on the volumes, the size of your business, you might have the ability to say, well, these are my best customers, as in I can go specific to them. Yeah. But even if you don't have that, you think, well, I haven't quite got enough best customers. but you can still say, but I know the people that most frequently buy and are therefore my best customer avatar is this demographic in this location, stuff like that. So segmenting your data is the first thing. Does that make a little bit more sense now? Are you picturing this for your artificial plant brand?
I'm trying to think who's buying my plants.
Well, look at the data, it'll tell you. So you just need to segment it. So it's this hypothetical, you'd be able to go in now and look at your data, think, actually, I can identify most of my customers are male between this and this, or whatever they might be.
Seems like my grandma's buying a lot of these plants.
I wonder why. Right, so that's the first one. Second one. Retargeting. You know what retargeting.
I know.
You know what retargeting is.
I could pretend like I don't, but I live it every day.
There you go. Right, so with retargeting, it's all about building out, doubling down and building out the audiences for your ability to retarget. Because when we're going into peak season, people are in buying mode. They're wanting to buy, they're wanting to spend money, they've got cash on the hip and they want to go and spend it at Black Friday. So leverage it, updating your customer list. So taking your data from Shopify or from your website and loading it into Google and to Meta as that first party data, right? And building out your retargeting lists so that you think of it as a pool of people, right? You want to maximize that pool, to build out that pool of people to be as many as possible, as big as possible, because you've got more people to retarget. And a retargeting audience is essentially a warm audience. So again, to maximize your spend, avoid wasting money, you want to take a portion of your increased budget and think, I need to double down on retargeting because this is a warm audience.
If it's a considered purchase.
Well, my plants
are. They're not cheap, these plants.
They're not cheap, and also
I've got to get more sales from grandma.
Well, exactly, and also not everyone is going to go on and buy in that moment. Therefore, it's actually thinking, right, well, I need to stay top of mind with those people. Social media, Meta ads is a great way of doing that. Google is another amazing way of staying top of mind over days, weeks, months sometimes. And your ability to collect that data to remain top of mind with those folks is amazing. And the good with retargeting, the more data you have in your retargeting lists and your audiences in these platforms, the better it will perform. So if you've barely scraped, you've just got together the first 500 or 1,000 people into that audience, it's going to do an okay job. You're going to spend a few pounds a day. If you can get that up into the many thousands, the tens of thousands, it's a different ballgame. It is a completely different ballgame. So retargeting and taking the time to think, I've got a pool of people, how can I build it out, is going to be a great way of maximizing performance and avoid, because then you're spending your money on a warm audience versus a cold audience. Next thing, data collection. So on the same theme of not everyone that goes to your website is going to buy there and then. Let's say for your artificial plant store, you're about to go into Black Friday. You're going to do a big 30% off for Black Friday. I don't know what's going to happen to your margin if you do that, but you're going to do
down a bit, 20 at most.
All right, we're going to do a 20% margin, 20% discount for Black Friday, let's say. So that's great, and that will incentivize some people to think, I'll have a bit of that, I'll have a bit, I'm in, I'm done. But not everyone is going to buy. So you drive 100 people to your website, okay, you might get 5 of those people to buy there and then. What the other 95 though, we want to retarget them, which was the last point, but what we also want to do, which will enhance our ability to stay top of mind, is we want to collect some of their data. What do I mean by data? As a minimum, first name and email. Get them to give you, and you might, there's a million and one, well, lots of ways you can incentivize that. You can offer them a further discount. You can, encourage them. You can offer downloads or freebies or, there's lots of ways, think creative. There's loads of ways you could do it. You could give away some plants. There's lots of things you could do, or you could, and again, what some of our clients are doing is they will run pre-season sort of offers. So it'd be like sign up early for our upcoming Black Friday sale. So you might say, we are going to run this, get first access, early access into this sale or that promotion. So there's lots of creative ways you can do it, but making a focus around collecting data, because all too often we see brands, and I don't want your artificial plants brands to do the same thing, we see brands going in, focusing all of their efforts on Black Friday or Christmas, but actually the name of the game, the real win is in getting to the end of that period, going, okay, I saw an uptick in sales, great, but I also made sure that I've now built my pot of data and I've got so many more customers that maybe did or didn't buy in the moment, but I've now got their email, so I can email market them, I can send emails to them, I can build know, like, and trust through our content, and I can also take their email and I can plug that into Meta, into Google to retarget them. So collecting data is a massively important part of any peak season, whether it's Black Friday, Christmas, summer, whenever your peak season is. Don't just focus on the here and now. I need to make the sales right now. Focus on, think long term. Starts with data.
Before we go any further, if you're enjoying today's Tea Talk, you'll love our Grow with Evergreen podcast. Specifically created for home, garden, and lifestyle brands, it's a podcast dedicated to discussing paid media and marketing. Every episode, we're joined by a brand that wants to grow online. We delve into their business, dissect what they're doing, and define a digital growth strategy they can take and deploy into their business. And best of all, you get to listen or watch along, then take those learnings into your own business. Make sure you check it out on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. But for now, let's get back to today's Tea Talk.
So, what about cookies?
What about them? I'm not hungry, I've just had lunch, I'm fine.
I knew you were going to say that.
It was too easy, I couldn't resist.
Where do cookies come into play then in terms of data? Because
how long have you got?
I'll be honest, I don't know an awful lot.
Yeah, no, so look, I think people have got, since GDPR rolled out, and I'm no GDPR, I'm going to have to caveat this with a big caveat,
yeah.
so we're no GDPR experts, but people have got really overly worried about what you can and can't, and Google are making changes when it comes to cookie, but third-party cookies are being phased out. Are they still going to be now in the same form? Don't know. Okay. There's lots of discussion on it, which is probably outside of the context of this Tea Talk.
Sure.
But principally, as a small business, if it's in your world that you own, i.e. your website, if you're on your own website and you want, and people actively sign up and they opt in, they are opting in, right? And then that basically, if they're opting in, that's going to be fine. If you need to incentivize them to do that, here's a discount. I'm going to give you this.
Sure.
So if you say to people, hey, if you give me something, I'll give you something. So if you opt in, I will give you a discount. I will give you early access. I will give you an ebook or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
You are getting that data. They are opting in. So long as you are then communicating and you give them the option to opt out if they so choose, then basically you're fine. When it comes to cookies specifically, basically what people are talking about when they're talking about cookies is your ability to basically follow someone around the internet, when they haven't actively said, yes, I want to be, I want to follow you. I want to be,
follow me.
Yeah, I want to be, I'm interested in this. And that's where people get themselves into trouble. But for the most part, if you're just doing things right and you're actually just putting your wares out there and you're saying, look, hey, this is what we do, and and you can buy our product, and do you want to opt in? Fine. So you can track people. So you can set up the pixel so that someone comes onto your website, they engage with your website.
Yep.
You absolutely have legitimate interest to be able to then say on Meta a couple of days later, hey, we know you're on our website. Are you still interested in our product service? Of course, that's absolutely fine.
Okay.
Same with Google. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, fourth one, ad placements. So, do you know what I'm thinking? Ad placements?
Like on Facebook?
Yeah, well, so either or. So Facebook, Instagram, Google, right? With Google, when it comes to ad placements, with Google, we've got Performance Max.
Sure.
And then with Meta, so Facebook.
Google? That's not creative.
Don't say that. Most of our work's on Google. What are you doing?
Yeah, Google, that's great.
But so you've got Google, and then you've got, with Meta, you've got Advantage Plus.
Sure.
They kind of do the same job. Basically, what they do is Meta and Google will essentially say, look, give us the assets, tell us what you want to achieve. You want more sales, you want more leads. Give us a suite of assets. Tell us roughly who you want to target, and we as the platforms will go and do the rest. Okay. That's what Performance Max and Performance Max and Advantage Plus basically do. It's fully automated, and essentially it's saying we will put your ads wherever we feel is most relevant to get you increased brand visibility. Now, with the theme of this being to avoid wasted ad spend,
sure.
What brands need to be thinking about, if you're about to dial up your spend, is within Google, within Meta, there are going to be certain places, certain placements of your ads that are going to really, really work, and others not so much. Okay. So to give you some specific examples, your artificial plant brand, it might be if we
Faux ferns.
Sorry?
Faux ferns.
You've just come up with that, haven't you? Look how proud he is. He's just come up with that. I love that. So, with faux ferns, with that, what you might, for your data might say is, okay, we're running Performance Max, we've got a suite of assets, it's all looking lovely, but actually if the data shows, and we can run a script to see this, if that's the benefit of getting work with Evergreen, we run a script, we can see, okay, that most of your sales, 70-80% of those sales from Performance Max is in fact coming from the shopping feed. right? So from the shopping ads.
Okay.
So what we might want to do in that scenario to avoid wasting ad spend as we're about to put more money into the pot is actually think we don't just want to run Performance Max, we want to run shopping feed only. So that what we do, we end up changing our Performance Max campaigns, we strip out all the rest and we move to what the industry call feed only Performance Max, where we essentially say to Google, don't show our ads on all of the different ad placements, but only in the shopping feed.
Okay.
Makes sense, you can do that.
Sure.
Now, with Meta, it's the same thing. So Meta's equivalent is essentially Advantage Plus, does the same things. You can have your ads, your more creative ads, but you can have them show as show reels, different placements across Meta, depending on Facebook and Instagram. Basically, anywhere that an ad can show, Advantage Plus will, if you allow it, will show your ad in all those different places.
Nice.
And again, there will be, if you mine your data, there will be certain placements of your ads that just work a lot better than others. So it might be that actually reels really work, or stories really work, or this placement, or the main feed works, or this works, or that. And so again, identifying, looking into your data, identifying that actually most of our sales, or most of our best engagement, our best customers are engaging with this placement on this platform, be it Facebook or Meta. Again, what you then do is you double down. So these, and a lot of small businesses are reliant on Performance Max and Advantage Plus, and they are allowing the platforms to do their thing. Great to a certain point, but when you're thinking about investing more and wanting to maximize every pound being spent, identifying within that which are the best performing platforms, super powerful.
Got to follow the data.
Follow the data. And then the last one is just optimizing for what you actually want. So when you're thinking about going into peak, and we've come off the back of just doing exactly this for a number of clients, is going into Q4, we're thinking about, right, we want to maximize sales, we want to maximize leads. So making sure that your campaigns are obviously well optimized, but actually that are set up to focus on, for the most part, for us, it's conversions or conversion value. Not running after max clicks or being on different types of strategies that are essentially feeding the algorithms the wrong intent. And this is really important to get in place before you dial up the budgets. Because if you're telling the algorithm, you're telling these platforms, because you're maybe in learning mode, you're building, we just want clicks. We want visibility, we want reach, we want this, we want that. But actually, as you're coming into Q4 and you're thinking, well, we're going to triple our budgets for Q4 because we're really going to dial up, make sure that you're no longer telling the system that you're actually, no, what we really want is sales or conversions or leads, and not doing that. And we've seen it previously from when we've looked at accounts, we've gone, you tripled your spend or quadrupled your spend, but the message you were telling these algorithms is actually the wrong thing. You were still saying, we just want reach. We don't want reach, we want leads. We want sales. And so it's simple, but often missed, and actually just check that what you're saying before you start scaling is actually what you want. There you go. So you've had an education. So segmentation, retargeting, data collection, big one, ad placement, and then optimizing for what you actually want.
This business is going to take off.
You're artificial. What did you say? Faux
ferns.
Faux ferns. Very good. Faux ferns about to take off. There you go. And if you listen to any of these tips and tricks, maybe your brand too will take off. So there's 5 things there. Let us know which of those you think, do you know what? Oh, I'm going to take that little nugget and I'm going to implement to my brand. Let us know in the comments. We'd love to know. And we'll see you on the next talk. Thanks so much for joining us. Take care. Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more, well, on the left side of the screen, you'll find a video that YouTube has hand-picked just for you. On the right, you'll find our latest video hot off the press. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Thanks for watching.